In the heart of the city, nestled between towering skyscrapers and bustling streets, there was a quaint little cafe called Java Dreams. It was a place where the aroma of freshly brewed coffee mingled with the scent of baked goods, and the soft hum of conversations provided a soothing background melody. The cafe was a haven for artists, writers, and dreamers, a sanctuary from the chaos of the world outside. For Emma, a young woman with a passion for writing, Java Dreams was her second home. Every morning, she would settle into her favorite corner table, her laptop open and a steaming cup of cappuccino by her side. The cafe's warm, inviting atmosphere sparked her creativity, and she often lost herself in her stories, the hours slipping away unnoticed. One rainy Monday morning, as Emma sipped her coffee and stared at the blinking cursor on her screen, she noticed a man at the counter. He was tall, with tousled dark hair and striking green eyes. He wore a well-tailored suit that hinted at a busy professional life, yet there was an air of quiet contemplation about him. Emma watched as he ordered his drink and then looked around, searching for a place to sit. Their eyes met for a brief moment, and Emma quickly looked away, feeling a blush creep up her cheeks. She returned her focus to her laptop, trying to ignore the fluttering in her stomach. Moments later, she heard the sound of a chair being pulled out. She glanced up to see the man taking a seat at the table next to hers. He set down his coffee and pulled out a notebook, the kind with thick, cream-colored pages. As he began to write, Emma couldn't help but steal glances at him. There was something about the way he moved his pen across the page, the intensity in his eyes, that intrigued her. Days turned into weeks, and the man became a regular at Java Dreams, always choosing the table next to Emma's. They never spoke, but there was a silent understanding between them, a shared appreciation for the cafe's tranquil environment. Emma found herself looking forward to their unspoken companionship, the presence of this mysterious man who seemed to be as lost in his thoughts as she was in hers. One afternoon, as Emma was packing up her things to leave, she noticed a small, folded piece of paper on her table. Curious, she picked it up and unfolded it. The note was written in elegant handwriting. To the girl with the captivating stories, I find your presence inspiring. Would you care to join me for coffee sometime? A fellow dreamer, Emma's heart raced as she read the note. She glanced over at the man's table, but he was already gone. She smiled, feeling a mix of excitement and nervousness. She decided to write back, leaving her own note on his table the next morning. To the fellow dreamer, I'd love to. Meet me here tomorrow at 10 a.m.? The next day, Emma arrived at the cafe earlier than usual, her heart pounding with anticipation. She chose a table near the window and ordered her usual cappuccino, her eyes darting to the door every few seconds. At exactly 10 a.m., the man walked in. He spotted Emma and smiled, making his way to her table. Good morning, he greeted, his voice warm and friendly. I'm Ethan. It's nice to finally meet you, Emma. Emma returned his smile. Nice to meet you too, Ethan. Please, have a seat. As they sat together, the conversation flowed effortlessly. They talked about their favorite books, their dreams, and the stories that inspired them. Emma learned that Ethan was a lawyer who enjoyed writing poetry in his spare time, finding solace in the creative process. Ethan, in turn, was fascinated by Emma's dedication to her craft and her ability to weave intricate tales. Their coffee date turned into a regular occurrence, and soon, they were spending most of their mornings together at Java Dreams. They shared their work, offering feedback and encouragement, and their bond grew stronger with each passing day. Emma found herself looking forward to their time together, cherishing the moments of laughter and connection. One crisp autumn morning, as they sat at their usual table, Ethan reached into his bag and pulled out a small, leather-bound journal. He handed it to Emma, his eyes sparkling with anticipation. "What's this?" Emma asked, taking the journal and running her fingers over the soft leather cover. Ethan smiled. "It's a collection of poems I've written. I'd like you to have it." Emma's heart swelled with emotion as she opened the journal and read the first few lines. The poems were beautiful, filled with raw emotion and vivid imagery. She looked up at Ethan, her eyes brimming with gratitude. "Thank you, Ethan. This means so much to me," she said softly. Ethan reached across the table and took her hand. "Emma, meeting you has been one of the best things that ever happened to me. You've inspired me in ways I never thought possible. I hope these poems can inspire you too." Emma squeezed his hand, feeling a deep connection to this man who had become such an important part of her life. "They already have," she whispered. As the weeks went by, their relationship blossomed. They explored the city together, visited art galleries and bookstores, and spent countless hours talking about their dreams for the future. Emma felt like she had found a kindred spirit in Ethan, someone who understood her passion and shared her love for creativity. One evening, as they walked hand in hand through a park, Ethan stopped and turned to Emma, a serious expression on his face. "Emma, there's something I need to tell you," he began, his voice steady. Emma looked up at him, her heart racing. "What is it, Ethan?" Ethan took a deep breath. "I've been offered a job in London. It's an amazing opportunity, but it means I'd have to leave the city. I don't want to go without you, but I also don't want to hold you back from your dreams." Emma felt a surge of emotions, happiness for Ethan, but also a deep sadness at the thought of being apart. She knew how important this opportunity was for him, but the idea of losing him was unbearable. "Ethan, I want you to take the job. It's an incredible opportunity, and you deserve it," she said, her voice trembling. "But I can't come with you. My work, my life, it's all here." Ethan's eyes filled with tears as he pulled her into a tight embrace. "I understand, Emma. I don't want to lose you, but I also don't want you to give up your dreams for me." They stood there, holding each other, the weight of their decision pressing down on them. They knew that their love was strong, but the distance would be a challenge they had to face. The next few days were filled with bittersweet moments as they prepared for Ethan's departure. They spent as much time together as possible, creating memories that would sustain them through the time apart. On Ethan's last day in the city, they returned to Java Dreams, the place where their story had begun. As they sat at their favorite table, Ethan took Emma's hand and looked into her eyes. "Emma, no matter where I am, you'll always be in my heart. I love you." Emma felt tears streaming down her face as she whispered, "I love you too, Ethan. We'll find a way to make this work." With a final kiss, they said their goodbyes, their hearts heavy but full of hope. Ethan left for London, and Emma threw herself into her writing, channeling her emotions into her stories. They stayed in touch through phone calls and video chats, sharing their experiences and supporting each other from afar. The distance was difficult, but their love remained strong, a beacon of light in the darkness. Months passed, and Emma's writing began to gain recognition. Her stories were published in literary magazines, and she was invited to speak at writing conferences. She poured her heart into her work, fueled by the love and inspiration she had found in Ethan. One evening, as Emma sat at her desk, her phone buzzed with a message from Ethan. Her heart skipped a beat as she read the words on the screen. "Emma, I have some exciting news. I'll be in town next week for a business trip. I can't wait to see you." Emma felt a surge of joy and anticipation. She had missed Ethan more than she could express, and the thought of seeing him again filled her with happiness. The day of Ethan's arrival finally came, and Emma waited at Java Dreams, her heart pounding with excitement. When Ethan walked through the door, their eyes met, and they rushed into each other's arms, the months of separation melting away. "Emma, I've missed you so much," Ethan whispered, holding her close. "I've missed you too, Ethan," she replied, tears of joy streaming down her face. They spent the next few days together, cherishing every moment and rekindling their connection. As they walked through the city, hand in hand, they talked about their future and the possibilities that lay ahead. One evening, as they watched the sunset from a hill overlooking the city, Ethan turned to Emma with a serious expression. "Emma, I've been thinking a lot about us," he began, his voice steady. "I don't want to be apart from you anymore. I want us to be together, no matter where we are." Emma looked into his eyes, her heart full of love. "What are you saying, Ethan?" Ethan took a deep breath. "I'm saying that I'm willing to move back here, to make this my home, because you are my home. I love you, Emma, and I want to build a life with you." Tears of joy filled Emma's eyes as she threw her arms around him. "Oh, Ethan, I love you too. I can't believe this. Thank you for choosing us." As they kissed, the world seemed to fade away, leaving only the two of them, lost in their love. They knew that their journey had been filled with challenges, but their love had triumphed over distance and time. With Ethan back in the city, they began to build their life together. They continued to visit Java Dreams, the place where their story had started, finding inspiration and solace in each other's presence. They supported each other's dreams, always encouraging and uplifting one another. Years later, as they sat at their favorite table in the café, now married and expecting their first child, they reflected on their journey. They knew that their love story was a testament to the power of connection, the beauty of serendipity, and the strength of enduring love. Emma and Ethan's love had flourished in the cozy corners of Java Dreams, and their story continued to inspire others who sought solace and inspiration in the little café. Their love was a reminder that sometimes, the most beautiful stories are the ones that begin with a simple cup of coffee and a shared dream.